Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my show. It is April the 13th, 2020, and welcome to TWB Live for Monday night. Don't mind me, I'm just setting up my little phone here to make sure I'm on the air. I think I am. How's everybody doing? I hope you had a good weekend out there. Kind of busy around here, to say the least. I have so much going on the last week again. It's just been nonstop changing, and you folks know, just watch your TV show, you watch your televisions, and you know what's happening out there. Tons of what's going on. It's just insane. We have been unbelievably busy here, Jennifer and I, keeping the channel going and staying on top of the latest news updates and so on and so forth. Got some news for you today that I'll update you on, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'm just checking on my big ass iPad here to make sure we are on the air. Yes, there you are. You are there. I am here. Welcome from Creston, British Columbia, is where I'm located, just north of the Idaho border. About 3 miles north of the Idaho border here in British Columbia. Gorgeous sunny day here today. Probably only about 50 degrees though, but there's not a cloud in the sky. And we're going to be in the low 60s in a couple of days, which will be the second time this year we've done it. So spring is in the air, and there's hope for us yet, although I'll tell you, there's a lot of snow a few thousand feet above us, all around us, and that has to melt off. So we'll see. We'll see if this weather really warms up for real and stays that way. Although our overnight lows next week will be in the mid 40s, and that's a sign of a breakout. That's when we don't go under freezing anymore, and we're 10 degrees above freezing Fahrenheit. That's good stuff. So we'll take that, run all the way to the bank with that one for sure. Hope it's all good for you out there. Let me know how your weather's doing. How's the price of gas where you guys are? Are you getting the discounts? Not that anyone can go anywhere, but here we're social distancing here in British Columbia. We are staying indoors and adhering to the lockdown. Where I am in British Columbia, thankfully, we do not have a breakout issue here. We are, of course, a small town anyway, but all around me here, very little problems, thank goodness, and we're going to hopefully keep it that way. Canada as a whole, about 25,000 cases have appeared, compared to the U.S. at 550,000 or so. We're 1/10 the size of the U.S. population-wise, so we should be at 55,000 if we were doing what's happening in the U.S. We're half that, thankfully, and we'll take that, and hopefully it'll come down. I hope for America it really starts to turn the positive direction. I'm so hopeful for all of you down there south of the 49th parallel, especially in New York and in New Jersey and that northeast area. Man, oh man, has it been devastating. We watch TV up here in Canada. We talk to each other. We are just horrified at what's happening. We've had our issues in Canada too. There are certain hotspots out east. We watched with great sadness what's happening there, and we're just hopeful that health authorities can get on top of it, stay on top of it, and help stamp this thing out. And let's hope globally that is the same thing. Would really like to see what the new normal is going to be. I have no idea what is the new normal going to be for all of us. So I'm kind of curious about that. So we'll follow the story and see what comes of it. Thank you, all of you who are fans of this show and my channel. New subscribers, if you're a new subscriber, say hi to me. Tell me you're a new sub, you're a new watcher. I'd love to find out, where are you watching me from? Tell me, folks, where are you? I know I have Canadians and I have Americans who watch the show, of course. I would say between Canada and the US, about 70% of all the viewers are from Canada and the USA. But 30% of my viewers are from the rest of the planet, and I mean the rest of the planet. The sun never sets on TWB. There's someone watching a TWB video all the time. When I'm asleep at 3 a.m, about to wake up. But when it's 3 a.m. here, it's 3 p.m. somewhere on the other side of the world. This channel usually has between 400 to 1,000 views an hour going all the time. It just blows my mind that there are 10, 15 views every minute all the time. And then during the daytime here in North America, the numbers go way up, of course, because 70% of the viewers are here, and the channel just keeps rolling along. So thank you, all of you out there who are following my videos, who are watching them, giving me thumbs ups for my recorded shows and this live show. Thank you. Those of you who are really addicted to TWB, you can hang out with all of us. There's about 4,000 of us almost now hanging out on the Traveling with Bruce Facebook group page. And it's spelled with 2 L's, just like you see here on the bottom of the screen right over there. Go on over to the Facebook group page, find the page, just enter the Traveling with Bruce into the search bar. You'll find the group page. Ask to join. I'll let you in. I'm the administrator of the page, and we're going to hit 4,000 followers in the next day or so. It's just unbelievable. I'm just so thrilled about that. I post all my videos on there. I'm live on Facebook right now. Those of you who are watching me on Facebook, hi everybody. If you want to say hi to me, please tell me your name, because it'll only say Facebook user on my little screen here. I won't know who you are. I'll be more than happy to give you a shout out as well. But come on over and join us there. Also, Instagram, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, who does not appear on camera, she handles the Instagram page for TWB. And this morning, we hit 700 followers on Instagram. So we're coming up to 1,000 followers on Instagram. Unbelievable. My daughter, who is an Instagram specialist. She's a copywriter and does a lot of work for companies on Instagram. She's just going, Dad, I can't believe it. I can't believe that you got your channel's doing that. That's insane. Thank you, all of you who are joining the Instagram page. Now, if you watched my if you were on Instagram today, you would have seen what's behind me already. You already know what all this is back here. There's a wall of logos behind me that look just like this logo on this shirt, the Sextant logo. Those are smartphone amplifiers, handmade with wood here in Creston by Thomas Marshall. Handmade these cell phone amplifiers, iPhone amplifiers, smartphone amplifiers, whatever you want to call them. And all you have to do is you take your cell phone and you put the phone right in here, this area right there, and play for your favorite tune, or play my video, or whatever you want to play. And right beside where that round hole is over there, the sound of your phone comes blaring out of there. It's just unbelievably amplified. It's the coolest little unit. No batteries required, no assembly required. They're made out of nothing but natural wood by hand. And most of these are sold already. They're not available anymore. They're going to be mailed out the next couple of days. But if you'd like to get your very own Traveling with Bruce cell phone amplifier, you can get one. The trick of it is, though, you need to send a donation to this channel through my PayPal account, which there should be a button somewhere up here somewhere. $50 American is the cost as a donation. And that includes postage and handling. I will send you one of these in the mails, but I've only got about 3 of those left. The rest are sold already, pre-sold, but the shipment came in today, and I'm so happy. Marshall's making a few more, but it'll be a couple of weeks before I get those. But we have about 2 or 3 left now, and then they're gone. The first batch are totally gone. So thank you for those of you who have ordered one. Thank you for your support of this channel. I do appreciate it, because the ad rates are pretty low these days on YouTube. So thank you. Okay, let's get to some highs, hellos, some news. So let me do the news first, and I'll let you know what's going on. $50 with half the world out of work. Are you crazy? Yes, I'm after the rich people. Those of you who are wealthy, pick one of those up. Those of you who you're unemployed, don't buy one. All right, how about that? Thank you for your support and your snide comments. All right, anyway, news. Today, Carnival made the announcement that I think you're going to hear from everybody this week as the week goes on. Carnival has announced they have shut down their cruising now to June the 26th. They've extended their shutdown First, it was supposed to be we'll be back in April. Then we were going to be back in May. Now it's June 26th, and I think that is optimistic as well. I don't think they're going to make it. Carnival owns 9 brands in the cruise business. They run, of course, the Carnival brand. That's their mother corporation. That's what they're named after. They also own the Holland America. They own Princess Cruise Lines. They own Cunard. They own P&O in the UK and in Australia, and a number of others. And I expect all of these brands to follow the mother company, and eventually all will say, yeah, we're not cruising until the end of June. Now, in the case of Carnival, they did make a few other comments about I think it was San Francisco. They were going to have a ship out of there doing Hawaii cruisings. None for the remainder of this year. No cruisings, no sailings out of San Francisco for 2020. A couple of other ships are laid up, and they're not going to do any cruising at all. I think they're going to reduce the number of ships that will be cruising towards the end of this year, and they're going to do a wait and see attitude just to see how things are going before they start cruising again. But now the entire cruise line, at least until June 26th, no Carnival cruises will take place. So those of you who've got a cruise booked with Carnival between now and the end of June, you're going to receive the email telling you this news. You're going to be sent an email where you have an option to either just ask for a refund, which you'll get in about 90 days, or you can choose plan B, which is a future cruise credit, and book another cruise. They'll give you a bonus for that. They've been offering cruise credits for people who want to take that deal. Totally up to you. All right. Other news. I read today that the Disney company, Disney World Orlando, they have 70,000 employees approximately that work for the Walt Disney Company in Orlando. 43,000 of those employees were notified today through their union that they have been furloughed. Now, these are the hourly workers. These are not executives and that type of thing. These are the folks that are working for between $12 and $20 an hour. These are the hardworking folks that we run into a lot, that we see. We see them at the parks. Many we don't see because behind the scenes, keeping everything running, costume people, sound people, engineers, you name it. Those folks have all been furloughed. They had been paid full salaries by Disney up until the end of this week, and then after that, they're only going to have they're going to go to unemployment through the Florida system, which is already being arranged by the union and the company. So they're going to receive an unemployment check for a while, but their health care is still covered by Disney. So they have not lost their health care for themselves and their family members. Very good news. Excellent gesture. Not surprised to hear that from the company like Disney. Their seniority is intact, their pensions are intact, and their jobs are intact. All have been told the minute this thing is over, we're back up and running, and every one of you 43,000 will be back at work with us. So don't think that this is going to be a purge or this is a way for us to reduce our workforce. No, nothing like that whatsoever. And I was glad to see that mentioned in the news article. I mentioned that because it's not necessarily a cruise story, but I wanted you to understand out there, a lot of you folks who are maybe not new to cruising or just curious about what's happening here. This is the first time for a lot of us going through what we're going through right now. You want to know when cruising is going to start again. And I've told you in a couple of videos and a couple of my live shows, one way to tell whether cruising will start up again is when everything else starts up again. And right now, when you see stories or hear stories of what I just told you about a company like Walt Disney World doing a furlough, they don't want to do furloughs. This is incredibly inconvenient for Disney to do this because their human resources department are up to here in work to arrange these, to execute these furloughs and then to undo them later. It's work they don't want to do. Believe me, it makes them zero money. But when companies like Disney start to recall their workers, when they announce the reopening of their cruise, their properties, when they begin to let the world know Disneyland is reopening, or Shanghai Disneyland is opening, or Orlando. You hear that, then cruising is just around the corner. We need airlines to come back. We need car rental agencies to come back. We need hotels to come back. Right now, hotel chains are running at 85% vacancy rates across the United States and elsewhere. I mean, it's not just a U.S. problem. This is a world problem. So we really need to hear that. We also need to hear stuff like countries opening up again for foreigners. People who have passports can now travel to London or to France or to Germany, Spain, Italy. I mean, we need regions of the world to reopen. Without that, there will be no cruising. There might be, regional cruising only, maybe from Miami to a private island in the Bahamas and back for a 3-day run. But even those just won't happen because the cruise lines need to know that they can get their people into the Florida area for Florida area cruising and out, and or to LA or to Seattle for Alaska, you name it. But right now, folks, I don't see cruising starting up until at least July, and I think that might be optimistic. I hate to be a pessimist about it, but I'm worried about it. I'm worried that we might be down until the fall, but we'll see. Anyway, so that was a Disney story today. I'll tell you another little story, but before I go to my last cruise story, I was also looking up information about Universal Studios and SeaWorld, because both of those entities are also shut down. And I came across some fascinating information. I love this kind of stuff. This is a little trivia for you, folks. Did you know that in 1987, Universal Studios signed an agreement with Steven Spielberg for theme rides for a bunch of his movie projects, and they did a theme ride in Universal for Jaws. Has anyone out there been on that one? I've been on that one. I was on that one in California, and I was also on that ride in, I believe, Universal in Orlando. I believe they've done them both at both spots. But all of Steven Spielberg's movies that have theme rides, Back to the Future and E.T. and others, they made a deal with Steven Spielberg. The only movie they couldn't make a deal with him on was Indiana Jones. That one is in conjunction and in partnership with George Lucas. And George Lucas has made a deal with the Disney company. And eventually Disney bought George Lucas' entire entity. And so Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are partners in the Indiana Jones projects, including the ride at Disneyland and Disney World, I guess. But back to Universal. Mr. Spielberg, his deal to sign this deal in perpetuity, he gets a percentage of all ticket revenues at the gate for the Universal property in Orlando and overseas. I don't think he has a deal for the California property, but he does elsewhere. And he also gets a percentage of the concession money. So whenever you buy a hot dog, a popcorn, anything at the concession, Mr. Spielberg earns a piece of that. And the analysts, Wall Street analysts, about 10 years ago, they estimated the value of that deal at about $500 million. But he had an opt-out clause. He could have ended that deal in 2017 and just negotiated a deal to cut it out. At that time, the deal was valued at over $1 billion. But apparently, he decided not to close it out. Decided to keep it going, because every time Universal raises the price for you to come in the front door, he gets a raise, just like they get a raise. And so I found that little tidbit of info most interesting. I just love stuff like that. And what I find interesting about it is he's not the guy in front of the camera. He's not the star. He's the guy behind the camera making that kind of money. Pretty good gig. Way to go, Mr. Spielberg. Way to go, Universal. It's been a winning combination. And a lot of us have partaken on these rides, I am sure, and have enjoyed them immensely. Anyway, I thought that was some interesting info. I thought I'd just pass that one on to you today. A little trivia for you. Now, news that I got in the last hour before I came on the air here came in from Norwegian. Norwegian just made an announcement, and I think this is something you're going to hear more and more of. I'm going to tell you what the announcement is, and then I'm going to break it down for you, okay? Because there's the official announcement that the company makes, and then there's the reason behind it, and that's what I love to talk about. Anyway, the official word is that Norwegian has announced that the Norwegian Sun cruise ship, they're canceling all sailings for that particular ship until October the 18th of this year. So this is now April. So all of April, May, June, July, August, September, and October 18th, no sailings on the NCL Sun. If you have booked a cruise on the Sun cruise ship, here's what happens. For all sailings between May 21 and August the 12th, because up until May, they were canceled anyway with the suspension of service by Norwegian. But now this ship from May 21 beyond to August the 12th, those sailings, you get a 100% refund if you like. 90 days, you get your money back. If you, however, take door number 2, you can have 125% future cruise credit, which you can book another cruise through Norwegian if you like. And if you happen to book the cruise right away by April 27th, so they are going to give you about 2 weeks or so, you book the cruise in the next couple of weeks. Not only do you get the 125% future cruise credit, they'll give you a 20% fare discount on whatever cruise you want to book on. So if you had $1,000 cruise, you can have your $1,000 back. This is per person. If you take the cruise credit, you get $1,250 in future cruise credits. But if you take another $1,000 cruise, let's just suppose it's the same thing. You take a $1,000 cruise for later on, but you book it by the 27th of April, they'll give you that cruise for $800. But you've got $1,250 for the $800. That's $450 left over. Cruise credit on the ship. Interesting how they're doing that. If you wait till after April 27th, there's no future discount. It's just 125% cruise credit that you can use going forward. So if you're booking a $1,000 cruise after April 27th, you still have $250 advance. You're ahead of the game by $250. Now, any cruises from August 13th to October 18th, that's further out, those you can either get a 100% refund in 90 days cash, or you can book any cruise you want at 20% off by, again, April 27th, but you don't get the 125% future cruise credit because they're giving you lots of warning that your cruise in August and until October is gone, rather than a last minute, sorry, your cruise for, June the 1st is gone, and here we are at the end of April, middle of April already. So that's the announcement there. Now, why are they doing this? I want to mention, they said at the bottom of this announcement, they mentioned that, and they were indicating, and I was going to clarify this for all of you out there. The Norwegian Sun cruise ship was supposed to go to Alaska. It was the 4th ship to do Alaska sailings, and in effect, these cruises that were starting May the 21st and going all the way till October 18th, those are all Alaska cruises being canceled. All right. They have 3 other ships going to Alaska. They have the Norwegian Joy, the Norwegian Bliss, and the Norwegian Jewel. They're going to keep those 3 ships going. So they had 4. Now they've only got 3 doing Alaska. And they announced on the bottom of this announcement, they announced that the 3 ships that are still doing Alaska for July, August, and September, they're going to reduce the fares for those 3 ships. All right. Now, why would they do that? They're nice guys? No, I'm sure they're wonderful people. Cheers to all employees of all cruise lines. I know you're going through a tough time, and it's not been easy. I applaud and I send sympathies to all cruise lines employees who are being laid off, who are without work, and I also commend all call center employees who are working their butts off, and all senior management of cruise lines who are not sleeping very well and working very hard. I cheers to all of you. But they're not doing this because they're nice people. They're doing this because it's a smart business decision. They are looking at the computers every minute of the day. They're getting printouts all the time, and they're seeing their numbers. And those aren't good. And they know the CDC has shut down cruising for U.S. ports. Canada has shut down cruising for cruise ships into Canadian ports. They know what's going on. And they figured out we're not going to sell out our ships because of the uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty happening right now in the cruise world. Passengers do not know for sure if they can go on an Alaska cruise in July or not. They were of course hoping they were going in June on one of 4 ships. Now they can only go on one of 3 ships. Uncertainty has ruled again. Can you even fly into Seattle in June or July to go on a cruise, or into August? We don't know, because we don't know if the SeaTac airport will be reopened to travel. We do not know if hotels in Seattle will be reopened. We don't know if the Port of Seattle will be reopened, because right now the Port of Seattle is shut down. There is no cruising in and out of Seattle whatsoever. And so Alaska cities are praying and hoping that cruise ships are coming up there in July, August, September, but they just don't know. Alaska just found out that one of the ships that was going to come up there isn't at all, and that's the NCL Sun cruise ship. I keep looking at my notes over here. So Norwegian knows that we can't sell out the ships, and so we may as well take one ship out of there right now, send the crew to other ships, because every month that goes by, contracts are expiring for cruise workers. They're hired on a staggering basis. You might have an 11-month contract as a room servant, and your best buddy has an 11-month contract that started a month after yours and ends a month after yours, and down the hall, it's the same thing. And so every month, a certain number of staff on these cruise ships, their contracts expire, whether they're 6-month contracts, 8 months, 11 months, whatever they are. And the cruise lines have now begun the laborious process of getting these people home. They're not going to renew their contracts unless they are senior engineers in the engine room, or they're the captain of the ship, or high-end management. But the vast majority, 85% of the workers on cruise ships, once their contracts are up, they're pretty well being sent home. And so what they're going to do, what Norwegian is going to do, is they're going to take crew from various ships, and they're going to shuffle the deck and move employees around. So on the Norwegian Joy, the Bliss, and the Jewel, NCL employees will be shifted over to those 3 ships for the summer months, hopefully July, August, September. They'll shift them over between now and then to those 3 ships. And there might be 2,000 employees that are on other ships that their contracts will expire, and they'll be sent home. And I can tell you that on the Norwegian Sun, that ship, virtually 85% of the crew will be sent either home or to other ships, depending on how long their contracts are. So the cruise line is reducing their monthly overhead, because crew members are human beings. They're not Borgs from Star Trek. You can't just put them in pods and just store them there. You got to feed them 3 meals a day. You got to house them. You got to do the laundry. You got to have a doctor on board. You got to have internet so they won't go stir crazy. You got to keep them busy. I mean, these are human beings. And you have their mental well-being to look after and everything else. This costs money. This requires people at head office to look after employee relations. This requires travel coordinators. This requires human resources people. This is expensive. And so every time another 1,000 crew members' contracts expire, they play shuffleboard. They move them around, and they're going to figure out who goes where and who does what and who's going home until we know when we're back in business. And it might be that Norwegian might be doing this shuffle and this pare down, where they're going to take 4 ships and now only have 3 ships do this area. Instead of 2 ships doing this area, we'll have 1. Or instead of 3, we'll have 2. Maybe we'll have 1 or 2 fewer ships in the Mediterranean. We'll have we don't know what's happening in Asia. We aren't doing anything in Asia. This type of thing. So there are ships that are being, in effect, I won't say mothballed. I don't want to say that, because that'll give the impression that they're being put away for a long, long, long time. But there are ships that are going to have 100 crew members on board only, and they're just going to keep the ships running and mechanically working, and they'll do very small, limited maintenance work like paint and little touch-up type work. That'll be it. No, nothing major, because they don't want to spend a lot of money. But they'll keep the crews busy on board these ships. The head engineer and the head engine room guy and the air conditioning people and the HVAC people, they'll have a to-do list for their crew all the time. literally go to every cabin and flush the toilet every day. I mean, they got thousands of cabins to look after and what have you. But you'll do that with a much smaller cast of characters. And in the kitchens down below, there might be 5 people, 8 people feeding the 100. That's it. And then maybe once every 2 weeks, the ship will come into a port, pick up fuel, pick up food for the next week or two, and then go back out to sea and just moor and wait. This allows the cruise lines, all of them, to do what Norwegian is already doing here. This is what is happening. This is exactly the kind of announcement I'm expecting to see time and time again over the next 2 to 3 months, where more and more ships will be, put on the blocks. They'll be floating in the water with a basic complement of crew members, waiting it out until they know they're back in business. But even when they get the word that yes, the CDC says August the 1st you can cruise again, or September the 15th you can cruise, whenever that happens, even then the ramp up will take 3 to 6 months, and the cruise lines are going to take a while to get back up and running again to full complement. Because you and I, who are cruise addicts, we can't wait to go back on a cruise ship, because we don't fall for the fear mongering of people who hate cruise ships, who are uneducated when it comes to cruise ships and how clean they are and how well they're run. We can't wait. We get the chance to go back on a cruise, and the price is right, we're there. And if we can drive to a cruise port, we're really there. We're the first ones to be on cruise ships. Those of us who have to fly, like me, Jennifer and I, it'll take a little longer for us to get on a cruise ship, but we can't wait for everything to be up and running. I've got a group cruise booked for this December on Royal Caribbean and next February, and I'm hoping that both the group cruises for this channel are going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So cruise lines could take quite some time to be up and running. Now, the other thing that's happening with cruise lines that I'm reading about, and you may be hearing about this, is scheduled refurbishments, dry docks, where the ship is floated into a facility. They put it on keel mounts, they drain the water out, and the ship is standing in air, so they can work on the bottom of the ship, they can work on the top. The dry docks, those cost anywhere from $2 to $3 million a day and up to do, because you're talking about a virtual army of specialists that are pre-hired a year in advance, a year and a half in advance, to rework certain parts of these cruise ships. It might be that every television is going to be replaced, every speaker is going to be replaced on the ship with all the wiring. The entire HVAC system is going to be upgraded. One of the azipods is going to be taken out, put in, and a new, redoing of a motor. There might be new generators brought in. The kitchen might have all the dishwashers taken out, the freezers all taken out, and all new systems going in. I mean, these are major redos. Those are all canceled. Those are not going to happen because they cost mucho money, tons of cash. The Allure of the Seas, the Royal Caribbean's second oldest ship, if I got my mathematics correct, one of the largest ships in the world that can handle close to 6,000 passengers. That ship was supposed to be in Cadiz, Spain right now. As a matter of fact, shouldn't even practically be done. Its dry dock was a $165 million dry dock for 52 days or 62 days. That has virtually been shut down. The cruise line, however, had pre-ordered a lot of the new materials that were going to go into the ship. They were adding water slides to that cruise ship. They were replacing all the televisions. They were replacing all kinds of machinery, flooring. I know that on the Oasis of the Seas, they did complete that ship's $165 million dry dock. They added a second floor of cabins on top of the bridge at the very front of the ship. I think they were going to do the same thing with the Allure. All of those materials were ordered, reserved. A lot of things were pre-manufactured off-site to be delivered to Cadiz, Spain, to just be installed after what was there was ripped out. Then they would prep the new area and bring in the pre-made components. They've spent probably $50 million or more on the ship already, but they're not going to complete the rest of it. There's $110 million more they have to drop on the counter with all of the workers the shipyard. The shipyard is closed because Spain is on a lockdown. So they can't do the dry dock, even if they wanted to do the dry dock. And the issue, of course, is once everything is lifted and shipyard is open again, will Royal Caribbean want to spend the $110 million of precious cash they're trying to preserve right now and get the ship in there? Of course, when everything is lifted, that should mean that the other cruise ships should be sailing again and the cash should be flowing through Royal Caribbean's cash register. And so then the $100 million, $110 million expansion shouldn't be an issue. But we'll wait and see, because all those workers have to be rehired again and brought back to Cadiz and put to work. And that means they have to be housed, fed, and all the materials brought in. And it's a major logistic, and it's going to take a minimum of a month to coordinate it and then get everyone there. And I have no idea what the building schedule for Cadiz is, because, of course, Cadiz, the dry dock, was booked for ship after ship after ship after ship for years. Now everything has been shifted. Will everyone just be shifted back and we continue on as if these 30, 60, 90, 120 days never happened? How do we do that? This is happening across the corporate world globally as you and I are speaking. And then, of course, those of you out there who are, you have personal experience, or you know someone who can't pay the rent this month or next month because they've been laid off. And what does the landlord do? The landlord can't make mortgage payments on the building that they're managing because their tenants can't pay the rent. I mean, we're in a whole other world that we never thought we would be in. And so this is a global issue. Nothing new there for cruise lines or for those of us in the on the outside world. So cruise ships that are under dry dock, total uncertainty. I can just tell you that cruise lines will probably attempt to hold off on dry docks. Scheduled dry docks for next year might be 6 months delayed. 2-year dry docks going out might be a year delayed. Cruise lines might be hunkering down their expenses going forward for quite some time. The other thing I'm wondering about that some of you ask me about are the new ships. There are brand new cruise ships in shipyards being built. What's going to happen with those? My take on it is that any cruise ship that is 3/4 of the way done or further will likely get done. The parts are all there. The components are all there, have been pre-ordered years ago. They only need final assembly, because that's what shipyards really are. They are final assembly locations for brand new cruise ships. And so I did notice about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, the Odyssey of the Seas, which is the ship that I will be on, hopefully in February with my viewers for our February 2021 group cruise. The Odyssey of the Seas, it's right here. This ship here is now about 90 to 95% finished when it comes to the outer structure. This is what the top of the ship is going to look like. From what I can tell you, if you look at this overhead issue, the overhead picture here, all of the ship from the hull, the very front, towards the back, where you see the words Odyssey of the Seas, that is all in place. All of those cabins are there. All the levels of the decks are there. I think they're just doing interior work now. A lot of wiring, obviously, the plumbing, the HVAC, they're hooking everything together. But this ship is probably at the 80-85% mark now. And it was supposed to be delivered to Royal Caribbean in, I believe, November of this year. This ship, I believe, will be completed. The financing has already been raised for the ship. The money's in the bank to build it. The shipbuilder is being paid all along the way here to build it out. The cruise line is not behind in its bills to build out this ship. It's probably 60-70% already paid for. The rest of the money is in the bank, waiting to be drawn down, and the ship will hit the water probably by the end of this year. It might be delayed a little bit. Maybe it'll be delayed a couple of months because of personnel at the shipyard not able to come in there, and the electricians and plumbers, maybe they're on a lockdown, so that might hold things up. But nothing too dramatic, I don't think. But other ships, any cruise lines that were thinking of starting brand new ships for 2021 and 2022, they may be on a 6-month delay, or they may be on an indefinite delay. And this is where cruise lines have the options, depending on how close to build out time, they have options to delay or not. By the way, cheers to all of you again from TWB. We'll stay on top of the story and see what's coming. But the Mardi Gras for Princess Cruise Lines, I think that one should be delivered. Odyssey of the Seas, I think this one will come out. But the second ship for Virgin, I know it's under construction in Italy. It's well underway, but I believe the shipyard is closed right now because Italy is on lockdown. I don't know if that one will be immediately started up or not. It all depends on Richard Branson and his folks. How much cash are they going to want to throw at that second ship without even the first one yet sailing? They've delayed the first ship, the Scarlet Lady for Virgin Voyages. That one is in the Miami area. Hasn't had a paying passenger yet. It's supposed to be sailing right now. They're not going to sail until July, August. So we'll play it by ear. Again, everyone's in the same boat around the world as to what is really going on. Just finish my thought here on cruising. This is the ship we're going to be on in December, the Harmony of the Seas. If all goes well, we will be on the Harmony of the Seas for our 1-week cruise out of Port Canaveral. And if you'd like to consider joining us, that would be great. All the details are down below this video once it gets posted later today. We're going to leave Port Canaveral, go to Coco Cay the first day there. Then we have a sea day down to St. Thomas. Then we're going to go over to St. Kitts, and then we have 2 sea days coming back to Port Canaveral. And this is what the perfect day at Coco Cay looks like. And I'm very much looking forward to this trip if it happens. We'll find out in the next few months. Right now, it's too soon to tell. That's the December cruise. And the other one we have is for next February. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we just go day to day and follow what news is out there. And as I say, you're going to hear more likely than not, you're going to hear probably every week now going forward, more and more news like I just gave you regarding Norwegian. Ships are going to be on a long-term hiatus. Crews are going to be shuffled around. Some are going to go home. Some are going to go to other ships. And a lot of shifting and shuffling of the decks is going to happen between ships. And the passengers are going to have to take a leap of faith to guess whether or not a ship is going to sail or not, because right now, no one knows from the top of the pyramid all the way down to the bottom. No one at cruise lines or anywhere else knows when things will be quasi-normal. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone has their speculation. No one has the actual answer, but we're going to find out like everyone else. As each day and week and month goes by, we'll see where things are at, and we'll play it by ear. And that's where we're at with that. That is majority of the news I have for you today. And I said I wanted to throw in that Disney news for you to give you a sense of what else is happening. Of course, you're hearing about the airlines out there. More and more airlines are cutting back schedules. There are far fewer airplanes in the sky today than there were 3-6 months ago. There might even be fewer in the next few weeks. I personally am kind of amazed that airplanes are actually flying in North America, because I strongly believe that people who have the virus, who don't know it, they don't have symptoms, but they have it, are flying. And I think that is how it continues to spread from here and there, innocently passing it on to other people without knowing it. I do know there were 100 American Airlines flight attendants who have tested positive for the virus. And I've heard over 600 employees of Southwest have tested positive as well for those who've gotten the test. I would bet you, this is my personal opinion, but my hunch is if you were to have a test of every airline employee and every airport employee in the United States and in Canada, of which there are hundreds of thousands of employees. So, I mean, we're talking a huge number of people. Minimum 2% would have the virus, and they don't know they have it. And they're spreading it to their family, their relatives, to the grocery store people, because they're going about their daily business, as they have a right to do until they're told otherwise. But I think right now we have to actually go backwards before we can go forwards. But I don't think the will is there with respect to those up there, the higher ups. The elected higher-ups. I don't think they've got the chutzpah and the drive to want to do it, because after all, it is 2020. And in a certain country just south of me, there's an election going on for top offices, and I don't think they've got the chutzpah to say we're going to go a step back before we can go a step forward, because the step back could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. I don't think anyone has it, and I understand why. And I'm not blaming anybody. It's just life. It's just the way it is. And so I think we're going to have an issue here where this virus is going to linger. It's going to linger for quite some time, and every once in a while we'll have a hot spot and another hot spot. And I think that certain people will tolerate it more than others. Those who get it aren't going to tolerate it. Those who don't get it, they're going to tolerate it. And I think this is going to be the part of the new normal until a vaccine is developed. And your guess is as good as mine when there will be one, because I have no idea. Now I'm going to address one more thing. I'm trying to keep my channel as non-political as possible, but it's very difficult. My Facebook page, I'm trying desperately to keep non-political. But I've had a lot of comments on my channel in the last 2 weeks, and I totally get it. I totally understand why I'm getting these comments. There are a lot of people out there who are just not used to being cooped up in their house. I understand. But I've had a lot of folks who have been very critical of yours truly, because I want to be straight with you people. Those of you who know me, you know I'm in Canada. I'm not in the United States. I'm not an American citizen. I'm a Canadian citizen. However, if you follow my channel, you know how much I love the USA, and you know how much I love Americans. I have a lot of American friends and a lot of American viewers, but I have viewers in Germany, the UK, Spain, all over Europe, all over the Caribbean, all over Asia. I have a worldwide audience, and we're talking about something here that has never been part of the human race to the extent that it is now. We are dealing with a culprit here that is invisible. Can't smell it. You can't see it. You can't feel it. It just lives inside willing hosts or unknowing hosts and can create all kinds of havoc. Now, some people get the virus, have no symptoms, and they've beat it, and they're fine. God bless you guys. I wish I was one of those. I don't know if I am or not. There are others who get slight symptoms and beat it. Others who get a really bad flu, cold, whatever, and beat it. And then there are those who have to go for care, and they still beat it. 96% or so of the people who get this thing beat it. 4%, 3%, 2% don't beat it. And we know more and more now as each week goes by what the stats are and who is most vulnerable to, really, really paying the ultimate price to this thing. But I've had a lot of comments out there for people who said to me, when I've talked about cruise ships going to the United States, for example, the Holland America Zandam, the Holland America Rotterdam, the Coral Princess, and other cruise ships who have come to Florida. They've come to Port Canaveral or they've come to Miami with ill passengers. And the cruise lines have made arrangements with the port authorities and with the health authorities to get tested people who are showing no signs onto buses, onto aircraft, chartered airplanes, and get them the heck out of Florida and get them home where they belong, to Canada, the United Kingdom, to Germany, to wherever they can be taken to. And I've had a few people say to me, Bruce, you're being awful critical of the United States. Why are you so nasty to the United States? Why isn't Canada taking in these cruise ships? And I throw my hands up in the air and go, have you not looked at the map? Do you not understand the logistics of geography, that in order to take a cruise ship from the southern United States to Canada is another 4 or 5 days sail into winter, into perhaps some really nasty weather, and the ports in Canada are also closed. Should Canada take in cruise ship passengers because the USA is overloaded with cruise ship passengers? I've said this before about the cruise business, and I'll stand by it, and I'll say it again. Cruise ships do not cause the virus. The virus was caused in China in a farmer's market kind of setting, as far as we know, in a city known as Wuhan. Back in, I believe, December of 2019. That's where it originally started from. How, why, where, your guess is as good as mine, but we kind of know that's where it all started. But because the human race is so advanced in getting around in 2020, we're so sophisticated as a human race to be able to fly around this planet commercially. And a lot of us in the planet have passports that allow us to travel to 120 countries around the world without any other paperwork required. It's one of the wonders of the human race. Is it any wonder that a virus that starts in one place can literally be around the globe within a couple of months? Well, of course. You get a couple of people who have this thing get on an airplane like an A380 aircraft, flying to Dubai, and then flying from Dubai to London, to Frankfurt, to Paris, to Los Angeles, to New York, to any hub out of, let's say, Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong International Airport, Tokyo. Is it any wonder that this virus didn't go around the world? The cases on board cruise ships, the reason that they're there in the first place is passengers boarded the ships with the virus. They didn't know they had it. Again and again and again, that has been the case. But for whatever reason, there are people out there who hate cruise ships. They can't stand cruise ships. They don't want anything to do with them. They would rather they don't exist because they're never going to be on a cruise. They're not addicts like most of us. These are the folks who are just stirring up the pot, trying to convince the world that all of their problems are to do because of cruise ships. Now, there are others out there who say that the 5G network for cell phones is the reason why there's a coronavirus out there. I'm just stumped by that one. There's a million conspiracy theories out there, and there is for any topic you want to bring up anytime you want to bring it up. But when it comes to this cruise line business, and it comes to this virus, I have to say that the likely reason that this went global, and it went global in little areas, like, for instance, remember in Washington State, it's just south of me and west of me, Washington State was the hottest state for the virus to start with in the United States. And now Washington State is way down the list with respect to how many people are infected. Why? Because of Seattle International Airport. People come and go and fly around the world from Seattle. Washington State is a beautiful place to visit and a great place to fly in and out of. And there are a lot of people with Microsoft, Amazon, and other businesses that fly around the world for business. Same thing out of San Francisco, Los Angeles, and of course, New York City, Newark International, the Philadelphia Airport, and all the other airports, Boston, you name them, in the Northeast. Why is the virus up there in such a cluster? Because so many millions of people a year fly in and out of these cities. And is it any surprise that in London, England, the Prime Minister of the country caught the virus too? Heathrow and Gatwick, hello, and train service, the Channel, you name it. Yes, Europeans are and have been struggling with this for months. This is not a cruise ship issue. The number of people that have gotten ill on cruise ships and have actually died on board cruise ships or have died after having been on a cruise ship, that's those stats that are bandied about by the critics out there, they're a handful compared to the number of actual cases that exist. They're a handful to the actual number of people who have perished. An absolute sliver of a sliver. But cruise ships are big and they don't move very quickly. And you can take a picture of them anytime you want because they're just sitting in the water right offshore, right off the coast of Florida. There they are. People refer to them as death ships. Just not the case. It's just not the case. I will say that the worst place to be with the virus is a hospital because everyone around you's got it. The second worst place to be is in a senior center because there are so many senior centers in North America now and now in Europe and elsewhere where this thing has just exploded like wildfire. My mother is in a senior center. I cross my fingers every day and pray that she doesn't get it. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't make it go away. I can't protect her. I'm not allowed to see her. Thankfully, no one in her center has had an issue. Thank goodness for that. But in the same city that she lives in, other centers have had deaths. and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. And it's the same, I'm sure, in cities and towns where you're from. People are trapped in their units. Now, apartment buildings and condo buildings in New York City, people are getting ill. Is it because of the HVAC systems? Is it because they go up and down the elevators? I don't know. It is invisible, it is microscopic, and it is a hearty bugger. It is a tough little nut to crack, and there's a million ways you can get it. And so I really feel for the people of the United States, New York in particular, of course, or anyone out there who's contacted this. I'm praying that all of us will get through it. We'll do what we're told to do. Stay home and wash your hands often, and be careful when you go out there and shop for groceries. That's all I can say. But it's not a cruise ship created issue. The headlines in the press, as you all remember, in January, all we saw every day was the news of the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Tokyo, in Yokohama. And everyone thought, oh, that's the problem right there. That's where it started. No, it didn't start there. Someone from China boarded the ship and had the virus. That's how it started. And of course, the Japanese authorities, not knowing what they were dealing with at the very beginning, how menacing this thing is, they kept everyone on that ship for too long. They should have scattered those folks out as soon as possible, got them home, had them self-quarantine, and had them tested. And maybe we've only had a couple of dozen people get infected in the first place, but it didn't work out that way. I did it. And Australia's had its issues. Italy has had its issues. France has had its issues. And the United States has had its issues. So those are those folks in the United States, in Florida, the folks working at the ports of Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale, Port of Miami, and any other U.S. port, for the folks in San Francisco and in L.A. and San Diego, those folks who have allowed cruise ships in to coordinate the evacuation of these passengers and get them home, I salute all of you. I salute the healthcare workers there, the first responders. Absolutely yeoman's job. It is exactly what is expected of you, and you delivered the goods. And I commend you for that. And I only wish that countries around the world, including our friends in the Caribbean and in South America, who turned their backs on ships that were known to have passengers suffering from this virus and knew that others would get it because they turned their backs on them, shame on all of you. I'm so deeply disappointed in so many other countries out there of what they've done. And I don't buy the argument of, oh, we're just not equipped to handle it. We don't know what to do. I don't buy it. You're equipped to take the money from cruise ship passengers. You're equipped to check the passports. You should be equipped to handle mankind's needs. Join the rest of the world and wake the hell up. And I'm deeply disappointed in countries around the world that have dropped the ball and have turned their backs on cruise ship passengers. Absolutely, literally unforgivable. And it's a sad story. Americans, love you guys. Way to go. Floridians, you've stood up. A lot of Floridians didn't want to do it. They didn't want these ships coming in. They didn't want these passengers coming in. I say, way to go, Florida. Way to go and do it. Whether you wanted to or not, you did it. You handled it. You got these people off these ships. And I'm hoping that the rest of the crews off the shore of Florida will be looked after and will be allowed to go home. I commend any and all ports that can help and take care of it. This is a humanitarian issue and it has to be addressed. It's not a Canadian issue. It's not an American issue. It's not a Mexican issue. It's not a country. It's a world humanitarian issue. And I commend all the frontline workers. I love it when I see every night on television these video clips where the healthcare workers, the first responders, are being saluted by the public through banging of pots, and in Italy they're singing off their balconies, and in New York the fire department is whipping it up with the sirens, the police forces. Wonderful. I think it's great. These first responders, they are the silent, the behind the scenes army of angels, the absolute angels of mercy for people. And I commend all of them in every country around the world where they're responding right now as first responders. There are young women out there, which I see on TV. I'm putting my TV over here. I see news reports where they're interviewing nurses, and I know that they're in their 20s. They're like 25, 28, they're 30 years of age, they're 32 years of age, they're young. They may have a child or two. They're hoping to have a family someday. These gals and the guys who are also nurses out there are putting their butts on the line for all of us. And what are they getting paid? They're not getting paid big money. They're making a living. I'll agree with that. But they're not rich, and what they're risking for what they're getting, it's incalculable. And how many first responders have already paid with their lives for our benefit? The New York Police Department, God bless you guys. They've lost members. Other cities have lost members of the fire departments, police departments, and ambulatory workers, orderlies, nurses have died, doctors have died, trying to save us. God bless all of you for doing what you're doing. I'm doing my part by staying home, and I count myself lucky. I'm going to be 65 this year. I'm too old to be working in a real job. I'm doing this for a living, which is my job now. And I get to do it from my living room in the safety of my house. I'm one of the luckiest people on the face of the earth because I get to do what I love to do with you as my audience. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am. My daughter is so grateful that Jennifer and I are at home, and this is what we're doing. She's just panicked that we're going to go out of our house. We're not going anywhere. And again, those of you who are staying at home and how ever hard it is, and I know for a lot of you who are used to working out there, and you can't do what I do, you can't make money on the side all of a sudden out of your living room. I really I commend you too. I really do. I'm hopeful that your governments are helping you get by. I know in Canada we have our national system, Germany has its, the United States has its. All the countries of the world are doing what they can for their population. I'm just hoping that all of us can get through it and tough it out because at the end of the day, it's worth it because it's survival of the species. Simple as that. We have to do it for our kids. We have to do it for our grandkids, whether we have them or not, whether we're getting any or not. We have to do it for all of us. And again, thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel and who support me and tolerate me and my little rant here. Thank you. Those of you who don't like my channel, tough. You don't like the way I do my videos? Tough. If I take too long on my intros, tough. I've decided to say tough. The videos are free. You don't have to pay a dime to watch my videos. Don't like it? Fast forward through the intro. It's pretty simple. Thank you for watching, and thank you for those of you who are sending me the kindest of messages to let me know how much you appreciate what it is I do. You folks really make a difference to my day. I tell you. The others who on the other side, they don't get to me. Those folks actually don't last long on this channel. They get deleted, and they're not part of the show anymore. They're long gone. And so there you have it. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. Anyway, welcome to TWB. I'm going to say hi to as many folks as I can, but I have to admit that while I've been yapping away here for, how long have I been on now? An hour? I've been on for an hour and 2 minutes. Anyone who said hi to me at the beginning of the show, your message is long in the system here, so I can't see you. I know you're there, and I want to thank you for all of you who've been giving me thumbs ups already. I'd be curious to know how many thumbs ups I have right now. If anybody wants to tell me, I'm looking at my phone right in front of me. How many thumbs up we got for this show? Can we get a couple hundred today? I don't know. Have I made too many of you angry? I don't know. But thank you for being here and being part of the show. I'll try to say hi to as many of you as I can. And like I say, I'm honored to be allowed to be doing this. YouTube has been so kind to me. I've been kind to YouTube. I've been tolerant of YouTube, but I think YouTube has been tolerant of me too. 96 thumbs ups. Thank you. Or 159, someone's saying. Thank you for the thumbs ups. YouTube has 167 thumbs ups. Thank you. YouTube has been inconsistent with channels like mine, but I understand it. I get it. I cut them all the slack in the world because the folks at YouTube, and I don't know if any of the YouTubers watch me. I mean, YouTube employees, I don't know if they watch me. They might not like me very much. I don't know. But those folks also get a medal because that company is working from home. So many YouTube employees are working from their homes. They're not in their offices. Just like the rest of us out there, we have to make do. And how they keep this platform going, I don't get it, because there are something like 400 hours of video being uploaded every minute onto this platform, including me, in 100 and whatever number of countries around the world, with translation and all the rules and regulations of internet and everything else. It's mind-numbing, and I get daily statistics from YouTube that tells me how many people are watching, how many minutes they're watching, how long they're watching, and how much I'm being paid on a daily basis. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how. It's incredible. It's so amazing to me. But I will admit, they were demonetizing a number of my videos up until about 2 weeks ago. Then the virus became okay to kind of talk about, but in a limited way. And as you know, I try not to call it what it is, because I really don't want to raise the ire of any artificial computer out there. Doing the best I can with what I have. So bear with me. But you know what it is I'm talking about, because it's on every TV station. But in the last couple of weeks, things have settled down there. And for the most part, my videos have been monetized. But I got to tell you, we YouTubers are taking a pay cut, because there are very few ads on YouTube now, as opposed to before. Back in November, December, there would have always been an ad at the beginning of one of my videos, or in the middle of a video, or you'll see banner ads all the time. Not every video anymore has that. I would say only about 2/3 of all my videos have an ad at all. And the ad rate that is being collected by YouTube is a fraction of what it used to be back in November, December. It's just a fraction. So I have taken a pay cut from the volume of ads and the price per ad dramatically. The good news is the channel's numbers are higher. We've got more views than ever before, and we're adding more subscribers than ever before. And I thank you for that. So that's keeping me alive. But I'll tell you, it's a ton of work. There are YouTubers out there who I feel for, because they're trying to do videos, but they're just not getting the audience right now, because the audience is not interested in what they have been talking about for the last 2 or 3 or 5 years, because their mind is elsewhere. I'm one of the fortunate ones, I guess. I'm talking about what we're all talking about and what we're all besieged about. But this will only last for as long as your attention span stays on this topic. Once this topic doesn't mean anything anymore, then my numbers will probably go down as well. But at the meantime, thank you for being part of my channel, being part of my show here live, and so on. Now, no trivia today, but I will do another trivia show this week. I was going to call it a surprise show, but I did a trivia show last Thursday. I'm going to do another one this Thursday. I just don't know what time yet. So keep your eye open on my channel for a trivia show later this week. Now, I'm going to say hi to Quilt Chic. They're here. I see their message. Welcome. They're using a word I wish I had seen. I don't want that word on there. To Travel and Tour are here. Welcome, you guys. Rose Henderson is here. There's another one with that word I don't want to see. Quilt Chic is saying, hey, come on up to Toronto. Lavita Merritt is here. Called NCL yesterday because I couldn't find out the refund form. I was told I had to wait until my trip date was posted and then wait another week in order to fill out the form. The folks over there are besieged with calls at the call center. Carolyn Clifford, Sedona, Arizona, favorite vacation after cruising in Norway fjords. Be there Labor Day weekend 2020. Let's see. Who else is here? I'm going to skip a couple of these political comments. I don't want to go there. Please don't use that man's name on this channel. Who's this? Vinsanity, True Travel and Tour. Thanks. They know nothing is better than word of mouth. That's worth more than anything. Who else is here? Vic Lau is here. They'll have to pay me to cruise, says Vic. All right. Rose Henderson is saying Michigan. Matthew, and make Donnie walk the plank. Oh gosh, there's that name again. I wish these weren't there. I love Michigan. Been going to Grand Rapids Quilt Show every August, says Quilt Chic. Carolyn, unfreaking believable. Norway forever. Question from Purvis. Have a July 7th cruise on the Carnival Fantasy. Do you think we will sail? I'm not sure. That's awfully close to the end of July. That might not work. Who else is here? Sean Smallman, a quilt show? Question mark. We have a Facebook user, Brigitte from Palm Bay, Florida, hoping to sail on the Mardi Gras in December. Thanks for all the info on cruising. I'm hoping that the Mardi Gras will make it, but I don't know if it'll be on time in December. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. Explore the Earth is here. Hi, Brucey. Hi there, Explore the Earth. Danny Bailey is here. Welcome, Danny Bailey. Royal and Carnival stock are cheap again. Caroline Clifford is saying, do it. Let's see. We've got Cindy Bridges here. Welcome, Cindy. She's one of my sponsor members. I hope both those group cruises happen too. I'm signed up to go. Going to need a good vacation after this mess is done. Thank you, Cindy, for all your support of my channel. Those of you who don't know, I have a sponsor member show at 7 o'clock Mondays, 1 hour before this show, just for sponsor members, where we just do a hangout and you can ask me anything you want. We talk about all kinds of stuff, including cruising and this channel and YouTube in general and the world in general. Become a sponsor member by hitting the join button. You'll usually find a join button down below here somewhere, usually just down below there, and just follow the prompts and become a sponsor member of the show. That'd be great. Thank you for those of you who are already here. Quilt Chic, although I'm Canadian, I belong to American Quilter Society. Right on. Very good. Let's see here. Emily Archer is here. Welcome, Emily. I like your new setup on RedBubble. It takes you right into your merchandise. Fantastic. If you want to order a T-shirt like this or a coffee mug like this or the coffee mugs you see over here, those are on the RedBubble site that we have. We have about 35 different logos. But those cell phone amplifiers, they have to order special on PayPal through a donation. So again, thank you for all of you who've done that. Okay, Steve Bergman, when is it going to be safe to cruise again? You tell me. I wish I could say. Greetings from sunny Arizona. Today's high 80 degrees and diesel fuel was $1.69. Oh my gosh. That used to be $3 a gallon. Now $1.69. That is incredible. The truckers are got to be loving this. Absolutely fantastic. Who else have I got here? Let me just see any more people I haven't said hi to yet. Here we go. Guess if you buy a 10,000 TVs, you're going to have to actually take delivery and can't leave them sitting in the factory, says Eka Tak Mako. Yes, those televisions for the Allure of the Seas and all the speakers and all the wiring and the amplification systems, switching systems, all been ordered. They're all probably in giant containers. And the containers are being stored somewhere near Cadiz, Spain, waiting until you know what. Janice Compton is here. How about those brand new ships? Thomas Ray, turn them into hospital ships. Pamela H, I don't trust the vaccine. Let's see. Who else is here? Donnie Bailey, airlines will have to be flying internationally to get crews back on the ships. Masters Game is here. Hi, Masters Game. Welcome. Who else have I got saying hi to me here? Let's see. Besa Memucho. I'm afraid next cruise passengers will be required to wear PPE when they are in public areas. What can I say? A lot of folks talking to each other. So I'm just going to skip through to messages people I haven't seen yet saying hi to for the first time. The Steaming Bean is in the house. Hey, buddy, how are you? One of the Biscuit Boys is here. The Biscuit Boys will have their own ship. It'll be called Oddity of the Seas. That's right, buddy. Welcome, pal. Steve Bergman, it'll be at least 2 years before you can take a chance on a cruise, and that's with a vaccine. Pamela H, put a deposit, but don't pay off until the last minute. Who else is here? Ben Tran is in the house. Welcome, Ben. What, no indoor pool on Odyssey? I thought there was. They might have a movable roof. I'm not sure. Rose Henderson is here. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Cheers, Bruce from Vic 31. Welcome to the show. JRS, almost 400 here. We did have almost 400 viewers at the height of the show a few minutes ago. Fantastic. Colo Radio, Holland America also has a new ship. Who else is here? Andrew Cabotty is saying hi, Bruce. How you doing, Andrew? And Fitzroy Phillip is saying, hi, Bruce, just look in. I always enjoy your program. I hope Grenada get lost of ships. Oh, Grenada gets lost of ships, right on. Jim Sprinkle, is that right? Jim Sprinkle, the deal breaker really is lack of vaccine. No one wants to get stuck in a petri dish. Billy Farron is in the house. Billy, how are you, buddy? Good evening, Bruce. Hello, TWB family from beautiful, hot Florida, 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Gas buck 72 at Sam's. Billy is one of a long list of heroes as a trucker, and guys and girls who drive trucks across North America. Man, are we appreciative. We do not realize, I think most people during the day and most times, we just do not realize how important people like Billy Farron and his gang are to our survival in so many ways. All of our medicines, all of our foodstuffs, all of our Amazon purchases, all of the junk in our house. We wouldn't have it unless we had a trucker delivering it in the first place. And thank you for staying on the road, Billy, and helping us out. You guys are true heroes. Love it. I got Eddie in the house. Eddie Panero, hi from Florida. Eddie, how you doing, pal? He's also a sponsor member. Welcome to the show today. Nice to have you here, pal. Kevin Jenkins, I have a January cruise. We'll be watching the next 6 months very carefully. Who else is here? Let's see. I've got Lavita Merritt. So far, I'm scheduled to go on a cruise, Harmony of the Seas, at the end of October. This was my backup cruise in case my current cruise was canceled. Lavita, if that one gets canceled, you're going to have to book Harmony of the Seas and join us on our group cruise. Just contact Amber and Travel down below, and they'll take care of you with your credit. Purvis, 1993, we have to know about coronaviruses for generation, but have never developed a vaccine, so there may not be one. We don't know. Let's see. Who else is here? Tim Bowman is here. Nope, it's at Anchor. Okay. Rebecca is here. Trivia tonight? Nope, but we'll do that probably on Thursday. Janice Compton is saying Air Canada suspended all flights until July. Doug Spiker, group cruise in October. We're sharing a scene, Lolita Loca. Hope it goes. Cross our fingers, folks, and I hope it happens for you. Greetings to all of you who watch Lolita Loca, all of you who watch Sharon at Sea, all of you who watch Dawn's Family Vacations, all of you who watch Cruise Tips TV and Emma. Cruising isn't just for old people. All of you who watch EECC Travels, all of you who watch Kara and Nate, just some of my favorite channels. Welcome to all of you who watch all of them, and greetings to all of you out there. Who else is here? Rose is saying, I'm praying for my mother in a nursing home that I've not seen for a month. I'm so saddened by this. There's a lot of us in this position, I think, a lot of us. Who else is here? Nathan is here. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Nathan. How you doing, pal? See if that kicks in here. My computer's a little slow right now and is getting a bit glitchy. Let's see. Sorry, folks. I think I've skipped over a bunch of messages here. Inadvertently. Is that the way to say it? I don't even know. And I'm trying to find where I was, and all of a sudden now I can't. CC Fashion, all of the junk in our house is right, at least for me. Thank you, truck drivers. Let's see. Lavita saying, Bruce, your videos are addictive. Matt Mahoney, what about making cruise ships wait 24 hours between sailings? This allowing more thorough cleaning process. I believe both airlines and cruise ships should adapt that. Well, if they did it in the airlines, they'd go out of business because they're so thin on the margins. Cruise lines, probably the same thing. They're so thin on the margins. But I have to say, if you've never been on a cruise, if you ever can't sleep on a cruise one night and you're up at 1 or 2, 3 in the morning and you're wandering the hallways, just kind of trying to walk it off, you'll be surprised at how many crew members are working at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and they're cleaning off the handrails all the time. They're on the stairways. They're working on the buttons on the elevators, inside the elevators, outside the elevators. They're on everything, trying to keep everything as sterile as possible. The kitchen staff, they're everywhere. I mean, this is when they can clean the ship and there's no passenger in the way to do it. There's a lot of cleaning going on between night and day. Ben, everyone go to your local Costco, buy your supplies. Mickey Mouse is my spirit animal. Here we are here for you, Bruce. Thank you, Mickey Mouse, another sponsor member. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. I know Mickey Arneson, he won't let Carnival go down. I don't think so either. I think you're right. Masters Game, always enjoy watching, Bruce. Thank you. Facebook user says, I love your show. Thank you. Carolyn, keep up the good work. Thank you. Emily is saying, rant on, Bruce. You're allowed, just like Dawn is allowed to rant. Thank you, guys. I have no one else to talk to. I got to talk to you guys. Eddie Panero, I love your channel, Bruce. I love all the updates. Thank you so much. And pay members on one day. I'll get your call, and I'm coming to see you. Like I say, one of these days, I will be doing meet and greets in various cities across Canada and the U.S., and I very much look forward to seeing a lot of you in person for the first time. This is going to be a lot of fun. Megan is in the house. I'm working in daycare for the ones that still have to work. Megan, welcome to the show here today. Welcome to my channel. Christine is here. Welcome, Christine. She said I have 167 thumbs up. Andrew Brown is here. Hello from London. Andrew, how you doing, buddy? Welcome from beautiful UK. Hey, from Naples, Florida, says Kate PM. Welcome, Kate, to the show. Love your show. I've got Vishwa Sugobind, 167 thumbs up. Thank you, Vishwa. Thank you for that. I hope I pronounced that right. Who else is here? Emily's telling me I've got 170 thumbs ups. Who else is here? David Perkins is in the house. David, how you doing, pal? Welcome. Catherine Gale says I have 175. Let's all give Bruce a thumbs up, says Brittany. Betty Sims is here. Thank you from Dallas. By the way, Brittany is also a sponsor member. Mike, Bud, I give Brew his props that open for our Docs Cruise. Go to jobs, less opinions. I don't know what that means. But welcome. Who else is here? Jonathan Jones, thumbs ups for you. Thank you, Jonathan Jones, for being a sponsor member, of course. And let's see. Mike Budd is here. Stick it to the Docs, Bruce. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Just looking at these comments, and I want to say hi to people I haven't said hi to yet. Don't want to miss anybody if at all possible. Kelly Haston is here, another sponsor member. Thank you for being here. KK21. Good thing you get some dough. I do get some. Trying to survive. Cruise with us. Howdy, TWB guys. Diesel, $1.99 in Central Texas. We received our future cruise credit today from Royal 2021 Cruise. Here we come. I hope right on, guys. Keep the vigil alive. Paul Wilson is in the house. Another biscuit boy is here. I'm still driving out here, delivering loads, truck driving. I bet you are, buddy. Lots of us are busy in whatever it is we do, especially the truckers, man. Roger Payette, thumbs ups, Bruce. Thank you, Roger. Pamela H. We're all taking a pay cut. That's right. LaTanya, stay safe, Paul. I have a son who's a truck driver. And Kelly saying, I'm doing a lot of house projects right now. Right, well done. Can't wait for your show to come on, says Sheila. It's like listening to the radio. I turn it on and I go do my housework. Thanks for keeping me company because I live alone. I'm glad to be able to help, do the best I can with what little I have. Let's see here. Who else have I got here who's saying hi to me? Timothy Johnson's in the house. Hey, Timothy, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to my show today. Richard Gage is here. Richard, press on, Bruce, he said. And of course, Andrew is saying I'm from London, and I know it. And Matt, do you think making cruise ships and airplanes wait 24 hours before going out again allow for anything? I don't think it's going to make a difference. Maybe if they had an extra 15 minutes on planes, perhaps. I don't really know. This is one of those. When we go back into cruising and flying again, I can tell you the airlines will be much more thorough than they've been in the past. But I've been so critical of the airlines the last number of years because of all the cutbacks and all those price, charges. They're charging us for every little thing. They really know how to tick off their customers. They really do, and they're kind of getting theirs right now. I'm sorry to say, they're getting theirs. Even after this is all clear, I think people can take a while before they get back into it. And the airlines, if they want to go back to their old ways, they're just going to, stay at the very bottom at the satisfaction level. And it's disappointing. It just really is. It used to be a pleasure to fly. It used to be a treat to fly, but it isn't anymore. And these extra nickel and dime charges, and on cruise ships, these nickel and dime charges, not a fan. Crypto Dummy, Carnival cancels till the 26th of June. We are scheduled out of June 28th. We shall see. Yeah, Crypto, I don't know about this. The ship you might be going on might be furloughed. You don't know. You're going to have to keep an eye on that. Janice, hi, Bruce. Glad you're so upbeat. Thank you, Janice. Doing what I can. St. Louis, Missouri, Cheryl says, hi, Cheryl. Welcome from St. Louis. Arthur is saying 1918, the flu took 10 months, 3 waves, and caused the end of World War I, and it killed a lot of people. Very, very, very tragic. Roberto, hi, Bruce. What do you think the New Year's cruise prices will be? Will they be high? I'm going to say that the cruise lines are going to try to limit supply by keeping ships off the market for a while, and they're going to try to make it that way. and they're going to try to bring ships on in stages without oversupplying the market. But I don't know if that's going to work for them. Because you're talking about the Bliss on Norwegian. That's 4,500 people. Talk about the Oasis of the Seas, Symphony of the Seas, 6,500 passengers. How are you going to limit? How are you going to limit that? These ships have to sail. They have to get people on them. And even if the cruise lines give these cruises away for $100, $100 for a 4-day cruise, get the butts on board. Get those butts on board. They'll be drinking. They'll be gambling. They'll be eating steak in the steakhouse. And they'll be tipping the waiters and the waitresses. This is called getting the butts on the seats. Get them up there. I think the casino departments are going to be doing giveaways like crazy. That's how I'd be doing it if I were owning these cruise lines. Get them out there. Get them on the water. James, North Texas here. Enjoy your commentary. Thank you, sir, very much. Really appreciate that. Cuban Peach 49. Texas sends I got another Texan. Fantastic. I've got a Hawaiian here. Aloha from Hawaii. Love to cruise. Thank you for being here from Texas, Hawaii. Joseph from Edmonton. Welcome, Joseph. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here, buddy. Sandy, I think I'm going to cancel my August cruise. I cannot take the risk to be stuck on a ship 14 days with a husband and 2 kids. Sandy, you might cancel, or you might just wait for them to cancel. If they cancel and they give you a bigger credit, you might take that. Otherwise, if you can cancel without a penalty, then fair enough, go ahead. But otherwise, I'd wait it out and let them cancel on you if it's going to happen. Bruce, keep up the good work. We're all here to listen to your live chat, says Vinsanity. You deserve a big salute for your research and all the time you give to your audience. Thank you so much for those kind words. Christine was on the Coral Princess. Was told to buy air tickets to get off in countries that never allowed us in. Where to start for refund of those non-refundable tickets? Airlines said no. Credit card, insurance, princess, man, oh man. I mean, this just gets me to no end when I hear this and see that. This is what I'm talking about. First, countries turn their backs, then airlines turn their backs and pull a fast one. It's just the worst of the worst. Christine, name those companies. Name them. I'll promote it and shame them for you any way I can. It is absolutely the lowest of low stunts to be doing something like that for people who are desperate to get off a ship and get home, to have this happen in a pandemic. Thank you very much, whoever these companies are, whoever these countries are. It's really the worst of the worst. Yeah, credit card, definitely contact your credit card company. And if they don't stand up for you, shame them too. Let me know who they are. I'll shame them for you any way I can. They deserve every nasty comment they get. It is really disappointing. Crypto Dummy, Carnival canceled to June 26th. Are we set to 28th Caribbean? We shall see. I don't know if you're going to make it. Okay, who else is here? KK says we bought 100 shares of Carnival. Donna Bate too. Hi, Bruce. Greetings from Dublin. Love your videos. Very informative. I predict the European summer season is canceled. It might well be, my friend. It might well be. Mara is here. Do you think the new Disney ships due to come out in 2022 will be delayed? If there's a delay, it's only because of the shipbuilders' shutdowns in the countries that they're located in. That would be the cause. It certainly won't be because Disney hasn't got the money. They've got the money. They've got the demand for their product. They've got 3 ships that are getting older, and so it's time to upgrade. So I'm going to say the ships are coming. They'll be delivered. I just don't know if they'll be on time. Would they be 3 months behind? 6 months behind? I don't know, but I think they're coming. We'll see. Cheryl Schnell to YouTube saying 2021 for cruises. I don't know. Latonya, KK21. Do you contact CCL for that? That's a question there. Who else is here? Betty Simpson's is here. Hi, Betty. Love your show from Dallas. Welcome, Betty. Another Texan. I got a bunch of folks from beautiful Texas contacting me here. Always following me. I love it. Norman Townsend. Hi, Bruce. Hey, Norman. How you doing? Jonathan Jones saying hello again. Ben, do you know the itineraries for Liberty of the Seas when she sails in Miami? Off the top of my head, I do not. If you want to know that, you can either go to Royal Caribbean's website, or you can go to the Vacations to Go website and just enter Liberty of the Seas, and you can see all the cruisings for the ship there. Facebook user, hey Bruce, ready to sail the Mardi Gras November. Oh, I hope it happens. I really do. We'll see. Who else is here? I did it again, didn't I? I did it again. I skipped forward another. I bet you I skipped forward another 20, 30 messages. Let's see here. Pug Maley is here telling me I got 200 thumbs ups. Jennifer stealing your bandwidth. It's all good for me. I love it. Bill Carroll, still waiting on the government money to buy stock to hide from the little woman. Half of hers. Have to be careful. I just moved up one of her pecking order when the dog passed away. This is a man in trouble. That's what this is. This is a man that's in big trouble. Matthew, always enjoy the show. Good job. Norwegian Epic Transatlantic, April 2021. Hoping it goes off without a hitch. San Clemente, California, gas today, 279. Light rain, low 60s. You need rain. Rain is a good thing in California. We're not going to complain about that. I don't think so, right? I just spotted the new phone ampliphone over your left shoulder. I got new phone amps right here. These are all the phone amplifiers. They're going out in the mail, a bunch of these. There's only a couple of these left available. If anybody wants one, you better hurry because they're practically all sold out. Mickey Mouse is my spirit animal. Thank you as always, Bruce. We're here for you. Thank you so much, you guys. Lauren K is here. Hi, Lauren K. How are you? Cruise ships have always been the cleanest environment compared to restaurants, theaters, offices, and even my own home. Justin Kilgore, hoping my August 23rd cruise sails. I hope so too, sir. Megan, I'm going to get off while my hydro is still on. Thanks, everybody. You take care. Super Westmount is here. I say that we should all keep calm and chill out at the Radium Hot Spring. Oh, yes. If it were open, that's a beautiful place to go and relax in Canada. Myra, do you think the new Disney ships will come out? We'll find out. I think I've answered that already. Let's move on. Billy is saying our last cruise was February on Adventure of the Seas. Constantly, the crew was wiping everything down. We had no problems. Came back to Fort Lauderdale. Everybody got off the ship safe and sound. Exactly. Cruising is a safe thing to do. Thanks for what you do, says Roger. Thank you for thanking me. Nikita, hi everybody. Cruising for the bruising for life. Nikita, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Matt, do you think ships will be filled to capacity immediately when allowed to sail again? Could the CDC prevent? Oh, it's possible. They might have rules in place. There's a lot we're going to learn, Matt, going forward. There really is. I don't know. Scott J just sent you an email about the CLIA press release. Thank you. I'll look for that. Facebook user, hey Bruce, working still, an essential employee. Those of you who want to become part of the Facebook group page, like I said earlier, join me on Facebook. Spelled Traveling with Bruce with 2 L's, and come on over and I'll let you in. Just join the Facebook group page. I'll let you in. Cheryl, who do you contact for the 100 shares, broker or cruise line? To buy the shares, you're going to need a stockbroker, or you can buy them online through an online brokerage. Just look up Google for online brokerage firms and you'll figure that out. Once you have your 100 shares, you want to get a cruise credit, you contact the cruise line after you book your cruise, or while you're booking your cruise with your travel agent. If your travel agent is worth his or her salt, your travel agent will help you with that shareholder cruise credit because you're a shareholder of the company with at least 100 shares. Alan Appleton, greetings from Port Elliot, South Australia. Love your program. Love Australians. A bunch of you folks from down under follow me. I love it. Also from New Zealand. A bunch of you from Asia and Japan and other countries, you follow me. I know it. I have Hong Kongers who follow me. Welcome all of you from Hong Kong who follow me. I've got folks in the Cayman Islands. I have them in the Bahamas, in Bermuda, Barbados. I've got them in Jamaica. I've got them in Mexico. I've got them Brazil, Argentina, everywhere. I tell you, the sun never sets on TWB. It's incredible. Thank you for following me, all of you around the world. I so appreciate it. Janice, Bruce, do you remember Eastern Airlines? The good old days? Yeah. I remember TWA and Pan Am. Oh, they're all gone. Matt, doing an awesome job as per usual. Bruce, keep up the good work. Thank you, Matt. KK, I reckon 4 meters square for every person on cruises, so they might restrict people allowed on board. Well, you never know. Mike Paget, a Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas, 10-night Greek Isle, leaving from Rome on September the 8th. This virus needs to go. I hear you there. It's time to get rid of this thing. Resistance is futile, says Arc Adventures. Ray is here. Ray is saying cruise lines have to start slowly, cruise to the private islands. They need to build confidence first. Right on. Let's see here. Pamplemousse is in the house. Hello, Bruce, and on TW Family. I bought stock in CCL and NCL. Right on. Arc Adventures. So I wonder what happens to for sold out cruisers. cruises were booked on the Mardi Gras on December the 5th, and it's sold out. Can't limit guests if it's sold out. True. If they want to do a 20% cutback, do they do kind of a lottery thing and just notify every fifth passenger? I really don't know. Can't say. They might even ask for volunteers. They might do that, but then again, I don't know if that's going to happen. I really don't know. These are questions we can't answer right now that are going to have to take a while to be resolved. And this world is still in flux, and a lot more changes are coming, people. We've only just begun, I'm sorry to say. Renato de Leon. How about Region 7 Seas? When do they start cruising in? Thanks, more power, Bruce. Renato, Region 7 Seas is owned by Norwegian. Norwegian won't cruise now until the CDC lifts the order. That could be the end of June or into July. Region 7 Seas will follow the mother company, Norwegian. They'll follow their other line. At the moment, it escapes me, but it'll come to me later. But Region 7 Seas is not in business right now. They're doing what everyone else is doing. They're just laying low and waiting for this to pass, and we'll see what happens. Do you think that Carnival Royal Caribbean got a business grand steal? I don't think so. No, I think they have enough cash on hand and availability of funds to probably last a year or two. So they can go a long, long time. Billy Farron, time to go. Good night, everybody. Good night, Bruce. Everybody be safe out there. Stay home. Love you all. Thank you, Billy. You take care. Keep that truck between those lines. Christine, Eastern is back as a charter in Florida. Coral Princess used them for charters to pay passengers home. Yes, the name might be alive, but the old airline is long gone. Anna Smith, hello from North Carolina. Great show, always informative. Hope to cruise on the August 8th Carnival Horizon. Right on. Let's hope for that too. Zane, Crystal Endeavor has been delayed. Yes, Crystal Cruises, just like all the cruise lines, just like Genting in Hong Kong. All the river cruises in Europe, they're all on shut down. The river cruises up the Mississippi, they're all shut down. It's all shut down. No cruises happening anywhere. CDC in the U.S. will not allow cruise lines to operate with passengers on board. Not a chance. JRS is saying, Bruce, you've got 217 thumbs ups. Guys, thank you so much for this. Boy, if I could get 33 more to hit 250, that would be terrific today. Do you think you can spare me a thumbs up out there, everybody? Hit that thumbs up button right now. Let's get it to 250 and we can call it a day. Zane, my mother was on the Mariner, RSSC Mariner World Cruise. Right on. I hope it went well. I hope everything worked out okay. I know that I did a video yesterday, an update yesterday, talking about the ships who are still out there at sea with 5,000 passengers. And let's see here. Here we go. Hang on, I just found someone I can get rid of. Here we go. Yay! I just got rid of somebody. We love getting rid of trolls. Goodbye, troll. Yeah, I did a video yesterday about the 5 cruise ships that are still at sea with passengers on board, and these are ships that are completing real long itineraries, and in the next week or so, most of them will be done. And in almost every case, there are no ill passengers on these ships, so thank goodness for that. Let's see here. Let's see. Ray is saying cruising Australia has taken a hit after the Ruby Princess. Hopefully, you can jump on soon. Sherry Nash, I can't wait to cruise already. Ready for this to be over. Great show. JRS, you got 238 thumbs up. We're only 12 away now from 250. Thank you. Where in the world? Where is the World Cruise Ship? That's the ship where people live on it full time in Fremantle, near Perth, Australia. That's where it is laid up right now with a skeleton crew just to look after it. Thank you for all the good information, Bruce. Keep it coming, says Vishwa. Thank you so much. Anna Smith, hope we can cruise on it. Who's this here? Donna Bate. Bruce, did you see the size of the main pool on Virgin Voyages? Very poor design. They will change the pool design for our North American friends. The EU borders are closed for non-EU citizens. Yes, I did see the Scarlet Lady. I saw the video that Emma put up. She did a beautiful job on her video. And she was showing the pool in real life. I mean, she's standing above it, shooting down on it. It's so small. Yeah, this is this is a potential disaster for Virgin Voyages. I don't know what the designers were thinking with such a small crew pool. I just don't understand it. Hola from Mr. Cheryl. Hello. Good night. Thanks, Bruce. Says Quilcheek. Thank you, Quilcheek. Who else here? 18 deaths, over 700 cases from Princess now. 66 crew affected. Think there might have been a crew member serving food. Sadly, we don't know. We just don't know if the person got on that ship who was likely was ill getting on the ship prior, and then it spread. JRS 243 thumbs up. We got 7 to go. Matt, hey Bruce, you've been to Miami, and if so, where do you prefer to stay? I have been to Hawaii, to Miami. I've been to Orlando. I've been to Fort Lauderdale. Been to Sarasota. Too many places to mention over too many years. There's no particular favorite I have in Miami proper. But I am looking forward to visiting South Florida, Central Florida, Tampa area. I have a lot of subscribers in Florida that follow this channel, and I am looking forward to the day I can get down there to do a series of meet and greets with viewers in person. That is going to be a fun time, and I can't wait. Denise, will Holland America announce cancel their next round of cruises? I think they will pretty soon. Paul Bowden, great show. Bruce, is the Iona still on schedule? Yeah, I was doing sea trials, so that's what's been laid up. I think it's been delayed for final delivery, but not by too much. Jonathan Jones, 245 thumbs ups, Bruce. Christina, any news on the Celebrity Apex ship was delivered, but there were apparently cases on board of illness with the crew, but I can't verify the numbers, and I don't at the moment know exactly where it is, but Cruise Mapper will know where it is, but it's not sailing professionally right now. JRS Bruce, we might have to count that one thumb down as 2 thumbs ups. Mark Rank is saying, let's get to 250. Arc Adventures, we just got you 2 thumbs ups. Matthew, stay in South Beach when you're in Miami. Thank you, Matthew. If I can afford it, I will. I have had invitations from subscribers to stay with them. I don't know these people. I only know names, and I don't know them. They don't know me. But there will be a time where I will get down there, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just going to be great getting together with a whole bunch of you guys. And you'll be able to ask me anything you want, and we'll be able to compare notes. I'm really looking forward to it. We have another one who wants to say goodbye, so we're going to say some goodbye to somebody else over here. That person has been eliminated from further participation. It's usually at the end of the shows I get the trolls, and they try to come in here, and we have to let them go, and that's what we do. Mark is telling me I've got 251 thumbs ups. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. Have you ever worked on a cruise ship? Would you ever do it? No, I'm 64. I'm going to be 65. There will never be a day ever that I'll work on a cruise ship. That's never, ever going to happen. Mark says, Bruce, you have 251 thumbs ups. JRS saying, Bruce, you made it. Congrats. Thank you, everybody, for 250 thumbs ups on the live portion of the show. Hopefully on rerun, we'll build this up to 500. We usually get several hundred more thumbs ups. Amazing guy. Let's see. It's sad how this virus is going around because it's ruining the cruise industry. I was supposed to go on the Norwegian Bliss for an inside passage to Alaska too on June 6th. Yes, I'm sorry to say that is not going to happen. It is too bad. And Jonathan is telling me 254 now, 254 thumbs ups. They keep coming. Thank you, everybody, for that. I really do appreciate it. Some folks are saying, I can't do a thumbs ups on a phone. Apparently you can. I don't know how to do it. Someone here knows. Someone has once told people how to be able to do thumbs up on your phone. I just don't know how to do that. But if anyone can, let people know how can you give a thumbs up if you're using a cell phone versus a tablet or versus a computer. I know how to do it on computer, but I don't know how to do it on my phone because I don't watch YouTube on my phone. I watch it on my laptop because I'm constantly working on my channel on my laptop. Anyway, there you go. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. Really appreciate it. There's still 250 of you watching me now, which is incredible. I've been on an hour and 43 minutes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of my channel, whether you're watching ads, making donations to this channel, buying an item like this, sending me a donation for one of these, whatever you're doing. Thank you, all of you, and your kind words. Following me on Facebook, on Instagram. Jennifer, thanks you. We're just amazed. We have 700 followers on Instagram and now almost 4,000 on Facebook. Unbelievable. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Mary is saying my Princess in the middle of June hasn't been canceled yet. Don't worry. They'll be canceling it shortly. I'm sorry to say. Gaming Techs, they're in the house. Hey, Bruce, how you guys doing? Welcome. Matt, I'm looking forward to my Carnival Horizon trip, February 2021. Southern Caribbean to Aruba, Curacao, Amber Cove, and La Romana. Can't wait. I can see why. That will be a one heck of a cruise. KK21, done. Gaming, hello, everybody. Masters Game. Have a good night, Bruce, and the entire TLB family. Stay safe. Thank you. Christine, Tango Tours in South America will give only a 55% refund for their land tours. Total was $226 for a land tour, getting back $125 out of about $800 originally paid. Absolutely shameful. That is an absolute low blow. I am just so disappointed to hear this. I don't know if you can do anything with your credit card. I don't know if you can do anything on insurance, but this is really dirty pool. It really, really is. 250 thumbs up, says Emily. Jonathan, good night, buddy. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everybody. Folks, have yourselves a great evening. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll see you next week at 8 o'clock. But Thursday night, I'll be on for trivia live. So join us. If you never played live trivia, we have fun. I'm going to put together some questions over the next couple of days. Get ready for Thursday night on a trivia show. Join me then. If there's any breaking news, of course, I'll do videos in the meantime. And thank you for all your support in the meantime. Anya, thank you. Daryl, hey, Bruce, AA finally stepped up and giving refunds for flights to cruises. Thank you for that. Amazing guy. Yep. Andrew, I really wish I could go in the Bliss for Alaska. They have an observation lounge, a beautiful observation lounge. They really do. Emily, thank you. Good night. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. We'll see you next Monday. 7 o'clock for sponsor members, 8 o'clock for all of you guys. Join me as a sponsor member, and I'll see you at 7. And keep your eye open for the next video, which could come out at any time. Okay, guys, that's it. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.